Innocence.
Yeah, Debbie.
Yes.
I think I'm not surprised because in the middle of this year, I have a kind of petitions I ready. I remove Chief Justice and I remove the fence EC boss no a bag. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, sure.
My net felt the way be a crank a bed doors watching the wing and a chill. If I say Abrabobonia, Jean Mensa and the team abo say I'm almost so my for you and I'm almost so Emma. The first a constitutional crisis occasion in this country for 4 good years where a group of people and we are Ghana for Japanese and Togolese. They lived in this country without a representation for 4 good years. That is the biggest constitutional injustice anybody can do. And that alone no enough grounds for their removal. Aside that, the belligerent poster and some foolish commentaries being run by people like your friend say Teteo and the deputies, an officer of an electoral commission, your friend say an umpire, a neutral arbiter, when away in charge of elections in this country, your temperament, your language, the wording, the construction should be something I respect your man for, yes, but you don't speak in the tone critical stakeholders in their electoral enterprise. Bossman Asare infamous commenting these people, say if they have a sense of shame, and after they let one kasa pack your bag, but Kromana Yawono, Sa, I drain you in the party, and the old crop better while a deposition. And that is what you have said, Tokono, and then a Nimguasiaba, and then your friend saying, entitlement and as for and Sakabiano, because I'm expecting Sanka by now, Jean Mensa and Bossman Asare. Because Utu when you had 2020, the nonsense that occasion in this country, 2024, the near my course will and some near good court crying in year. And how about Pandai case? The judge is asking them to go and conduct free and fair election. It means the election was flouted with how do you call the elections? The integrity of your job, Rankasa, is questionable. We had elections in this country where we have to say your best election from constituency. Jaba cry near the 4 between Wessia, some party in the rep war on the rep in you. You see a declare, okay, because soldier for so ya born one on as a forum. We cannot live in the country and be asking some of this nonsense and pretend is because John Mahama were there and this is a majority, we should just let it go. We may go into another election and this thing will come up, and if you are not careful, we will wake up in a new dawn, a dawn of violence, a dawn of pandemonium, and what we don't want to. So for me, I think in as much somebody might think so, baby, there are certain things that you cannot forgive because these are crimes that have been committed. Because if you go to Central Fieni Salo Lubini and the people who were denied 4 years of representation, that was a deliberate orchestration by the electoral commissioners just to cut the people out so that the seat will be won by somebody. These are political shenanigans, machinations that these people, and this is the time, the day of reckoning and number. And it's a Obia Transcend one for money through a tradition, the president. Now, president in his wisdom, I forwarded to the Chief Justice. Chief Justice will not just say it's a petition, but no. He was also subjected to a critical scrutiny. And now, who said, admitted the threshold. I am at the petition. The petition is really competent. And I said, Otimia arrived on that by establishing the premier facility, and then a committee will be set up. So I think that Ghanaians will follow through. And for me, for me, my culture says, you see, you don't even need to waste time go through a removal of Kisia Jaben. Gaby, my culture said the office of the special prosecutor is a useless creation and a further burden on the taxpayer. First of all, it is not independent. That office has never been independent. And see, the intention for its creation was diabolic. Because when Akufo-Addo decided to set up office of the special prosecutor, and then he saw a certain Martin Amidu who was very angry, very peeved. So they realized, okay, let us tap into his anger, his bitterness, and use him against the NDC people. And I've known that Martin Amidu is somebody of a higher conviction. The person who doesn't mean he will allow himself to be used. I know that we saw the back and forth between the president, and it resulted in the comment that came. Then subsequent to that, that was when this particular gentleman came up. And I told you, this whole thing now amount to nothing because office and Ankasa, the creation and Ankasa no any useful. So for me, the best thing that we can do now is to dissolve, cut the office out. Just cut the office out. Now you're making sure that resources be a will be the AG department, and if possible, AG department, from Ministry of Justice. Now two independent bodies. Now you're making sure that at the regional level, no, they are resource adequate because criminal cases you go bind so as no. Two people sitting at the Attorney General cannot. But the special prosecutor is not helping because Obaye mention one case that was fire successful. Tiselana pa yetiana or the soldier near my share the titisa or call war Pakistan. Eko wura na mu kutu ni niema ekosi sanyi. Your friends legana yedna ye yoko boss tiwa. The issue said by I know that they killed the issue using some tactics. I know that the issue not die, and that is the player. So for me, I don't have any beef with him. I don't care about whether he's this or not. Maybe say the office in Ankasa occupy useless. Let us scrap and then let us focus on the AG and make sure that we resource them adequately to take up issues of prosecution because the next 4 years. The message that the government will have to justify to the people of this country is say criminals no more no more D. That is the only language they can understand. Yeah. Anything, nobody will take it. So right. Prosecution is something indispensable and the government can do without it. So any faculty avenue be ready to do it seriously, no? That is why the investments might go because so when you go back to account to the people, you tell them say and then they've been accounted for, and I said they've been prosecuted. See, I'm like, can you for that, baby? Come across your back, no more, papa and come because this is the whole finance minister, and I was sitting at the center of the financial chain in this particular country. And they're about one casa woman who crew papa crew, they went to be and that I don't know forever and never. If it doesn't come, his children are going to suffer a block of mortification forever because you go to school, or classmates will catch us, oh papa, where is America went to be now Krano will not be able to obey in one because you didn't come. So I think that it is in his own interest, wherever he is. Nobody has pronounced him guilty, but he should come because now he has been declared as a fugitive who has fled justice in this particular country. He should come back, maybe we'll have a better explanation. Right. And then such a terrible state of affairs, Akufo-Addo bequeathed to us as a country. And I can't say the track record there. It will forever be consigned to the dark pages of our political history. And the generation will come learn a certain Akufo-Addo came as president and he came and destroyed this country. And that record will forever will be back on him. Midase.
Minia Innocent, Ivan, Midase, for your time. Lucius, Midase, for your time. Now, of course, Yami Adoma next week. It's a good year promise. Say enough time.
Next week, enough
time for discussion. All right, see, you have a sorry about my birthday. Quick one. I had to say nothing. Yeah, sorry. So first birthday,
so Emma funny reasons. So Krana a teacher for your more young come once and not come and Krana say, you see, these are primitive arguments that you should make because my catcher man was there. The option about the Abua crying as a for no, and yes, and then the mark discipline as any discipline. Yeah. Because when you get to a certain age, so far Eric Erickson, the psychosocial theory of human development, no, offer adult center 12 to 18 years. And Krana was secondary school, no, that is the stage of finding themselves in. And the thing there is your friend said identity versus confusion. And when you are in a secondary school, at that particular way, you are struggling to identify who you really are. That is why in developmental stages in life, baby, I'm for taking a young kwasi in my secondary school. Yes. Obi to confirm kwasi dimbi to okay dimbi was secondary because at that age, you are struggling for identity. What I say? You are struggling for identity to identify yourself. Say you belong here, you belong here. So they go through a lot of experimentation as young people at that particular age. So at that age, the primary focus should be on the kind of training and what they man or some grounded in a particular identity. No what chance that this is your role. So from here, you pursue and go forward. But some of these psychosocial developmental our education system don't even take into consideration. The focus is exams oriented. So one pass here was so useless person who be that. So pass here, you are prominent. You understand?
Yes. So this is what how far we have come.
Okay.
But yes. What is the way forward? Because now the education system is being manipulated by the government in power.
Yes.
You name roll at a time. Not at say Kofo Bayo Besisano, Atamis Bayo no Besisano, Nado Bayo no Besisano. Now John Dramani Mahama Bayo no so Esano. Now it is going through this level of struggle. I mean, because this is a system where it should not go through this level of reforms. na Kenya positive reforms na entimi emwa nkra no edachin. But now look at the way and manner it's being handled.
I think that we just need to get our priorities right and know the essential outcome we seek from medication. Because that essential outcome you seek, you know, ever drive your policy options. For instance, if the ultimate essential outcome you see from medication is to getting ABCR, you design the entire curriculum to enhance that outcome. What does that make? But if the focus is on the development of a child, a whole as a human being, the entire educational system is to take the child through a certain transformation. Apart from so we school, no, so failure, so pass you could see that you have become a better person, an enhanced form of a person. So if that is the focus, and then the world around us, that is exactly the focus of every country. Just to ensure that by the time you come out of the school, no, something has gone through you. Yes, sir, you just went through. But then if you look at the design and not gonna hire, look at the way we scatter our education. Anajo, I'm for a school. Area, I'm for a school. Weekends, I'm for a school. People are just going just for the certificate. But the system is not designed to impact on you. So you pay a crumb for our school. We know it's crumb for. That is the system, because education is not having any impact. It's about chasing a park or certificate. That was what the last time I was telling you. Certificate free. So the only thing they didn't want to see is a piece of paper. Because you should be able to demonstrate to people, say, I am smart, I am intelligent, I am capable, and this is what I can do. You don't need a documentation. If you are doing a good presentation, do you need to go home and bring your media certificate to tell people, say, because media school, who cares? But it's about the delivery, the job that you do, you understand? Sure. And that should be the capacity building aspect of our education that we are missing. And unfortunately, among forgetting all these grades, they go to the universities, especially the dangerous ones are those with the AAA ones. Because,